Hello, it's me, Mrs. Cruz. I'm going to read chapters 46 and 47. Here's chapter 46. That evening, Crenshaw and I went out to the backyard. Crenshaw liked night. He liked the way the stars took their time showing up. He liked the way the grass let go of the sun's warmth. He liked the way crickets changed the music. But mostly, he liked to eat the crickets. We lay there, me on my back, Crenshaw on his side, with Aretha nearby gnawing on a tennis ball. Every so often she looked up, ears cocked, sniffing the air. It felt good, talking as the night took over. It almost made me forget that we were leaving the next day. It almost made me stop feeling the anger and sadness weighing me down like invisible anchors. Crenshaw trapped a cricket under his big paw. I told him crickets were considered lucky in China. Crickets are considered delicious in Thailand, he replied. His tail looped and snaked like a lasso at a rodeo, and in Catland. I chewed on a piece of grass. It's a good way to distract yourself when you're hungry. How do you know that? Crenshaw glanced at me. I know everything you know. That's how imaginary friends operate. Do you know things I don't know? Well, I know what it's like to be an imaginary friend. Crenshaw slapped at a moth with his other front paw. The moth fluttered over his head like it was laughing at him. I hate moths, he said. They are butterfly posers. I don't know what that means. Butterfly wannabes. If you know everything I know, how come you know words I don't know? It's been 3 years, Jackson. A cat can do a lot of learning in that time. I read the dictionary 4 times last month. He tried for the moth again and missed. You used to be faster, I pointed out. I used to be smaller, Crenshaw licked his paw. I've been meaning to ask you why you're so much bigger. You weren't this big when I was 7. You need a bigger friend now, said Crenshaw. My mom walked by with a box of clothing to put in the minivan. Jackson, she said, you okay? Yep. Thought I heard you talking to somebody. I cast a look at Crenshaw. Just talking to myself, you know. My mom smiled. An excellent conversational partner. Do you need any help, Mom? Nope, not much to pack. When you get right down to it. Thanks, sweetie. Crenshaw lifted his paw. The cricket scrambled for freedom. Down went the paw. Not enough to kill the poor bug. Just enough to annoy him. Do you ever feel guilty about the way cats torture things? Bugs, mice, flies? I asked. I know it's instinct and all, but still. Of course not. It's what we do. It's hunting practice. Survival of the fittest. He lifted his paw, and this time the cricket made a quick getaway. Life isn't always fair, Jackson. Yeah, I said, sighing. I know. In any case, you're the one who made me a cat. I don't remember deciding that. You just sort of happened. Aretha dropped her ball in front of Crenshaw. He sniffed it disdainfully. Cats do not play, Crenshaw told her. We do not frolic. We do not gamble. We nap. We kill. And we eat. Aretha wagged wildly, still hopeful. Fine. Crenshaw blew on the tennis ball. It rolled a few inches. Aretha nabbed it with her teeth and tossed it in the air. That was playful of you, I said. I plucked a new piece of grass to chew on, for someone who doesn't play. I hear you may have made me with a hint of dog thrown in, Crenshaw shuddered. Sometimes I actually want to roll in something stinky. A dead skunk maybe, or some ripe trash. Dogs do that because, I know why, because they're idiots. I also know you will never, ever catch this fine feline specimen stooping so low. I sat up. The moon was thin and yellow. Anything else I put in the mix? Well, I sometimes worry I have a bit of fish in me. I rather like water. I thought back to my first grade self. I liked fish a lot when I was 7. I had a goldfish named George. Of course, said Crenshaw, you liked a lot of animals back then. Rats, manatees, cheetahs, you name it, he groaned. Bats, too. No wonder I like to eat mosquitoes. Sorry, I said, but I couldn't help smiling. At last, Or at least you worked with animals. I have a friend, nice guy, who was made entirely of ice cream. Hated hot weather. Wait, I let that sink in. You mean you know other imaginary friends? Of course, cats are solitary, but we're not completely antisocial, he yawned. I've met Marisol's imaginary friend. Whoops. And your dad's. My dad had an imaginary friend, I cried. It's more common than you think, Jackson. Crenshaw yawned again. I feel a snooze coming on. Wait, I said. Before you go to sleep, just tell me about my dad's friend. Crenshaw closed his eyes. He plays the guitar, I think. My dad? No, his friend. He plays the trombone, too, if I recall correctly. He's a dog. Scrawny. Not much to look at. What's his name? Starts with an F. Unusual name. Franco? Fiji? Crenshaw snapped his fingers, which is not something cats generally do. Finian, he said. It's Finian. Nice guy for a dog. Finian, I repeated. Where are you, Crenshaw, when you're not with me? You've seen a teacher's lounge, right? I've peeked. We're not allowed in, mostly. I saw a lot of coffee cups and Mr. DeStefano's napping on a couch. Mr. DeStefano napping on a couch. Picture a giant teacher's lounge. Lots of people waiting and snoozing and telling stories about exasperating, amazing children. That's where I stay. That's where I wait, just in case you need me. That's all you do? That's plenty. Imaginary friends are like books. We're created, we are enjoyed, we're dog-eared and creased, and then we're tucked away until we're needed again. Crenshaw rolled onto his back and closed his eyes. A good cat fact to know is that they only expose their tummies when they feel safe. His purr filled the air like a lawnmower. Chapter 7. I couldn't fall asleep that night. Sounds echoed off the walls of our empty apartment. Shadows loomed and shrank. A question kept nagging at me. Why do things have to be this way? Life isn't always fair, Crenshaw had said. His words reminded me of an interesting nature fact Miss Malone had taught us last year in 4th grade. Bats, she said, actually share food with each other. She was talking about vampire bats, the ones that slice open sleeping mammals in the dark of night. They don't actually suck blood. It's more like they lap it up, which is awesome enough. But the really amazing part, the no-way part, is that when they get back to their caves, they share with the unlucky bats who haven't found anything to eat. They actually puke up warm blood into the hungry bats' mouths. If that's not the coolest nature fact ever, I don't know what is. Miss Malone said maybe bats are altruist, which means they're sharing to help the other bats, even if it's a risk. She said some scientists say yes, some say no. Scientists love to disagree about things. Ms. Malone looked at me then, because even though it was only like the 3rd week of school, she already had me pegged pretty well. Jackson, she said, maybe you'll be the one to settle the great "are bats nice guys" debate. I said probably not, because I wanted to be a cheetah or a manatee or dog scientist, but I would keep bats in mind as a backup plan. Miss Malone said something else about bats that day. She said she sometimes wondered if bats are better human beings than human beings are. That's the end of the chapter. Bye, everyone.